What started as a fringe conspiracy in the dark corners of the internet has become a mainstay of Republican politics. We're talking about QAnon. And if you think it's going away anytime soon, think again. This week, daughter-in-law and campaign advisor to President Trump, Laura Trump, traveled to Florida to meet with GOP House candidate Laura Loomer. Loomer is a supporter of QAnon and a self-described Islamophobe. President Trump even congratulated Loomer on her primary win with a tweet. She's been banned from Twitter and most social media sites over hate speech violations. Just yesterday, another QAnon supporter running for Congress in Georgia had a Facebook post removed. Marjorie Taylor Greene posted a picture of herself holding an AR-15 style rifle and pictures of liberal members of Congress. The reason QAnon supporters keep getting banned is that these social media posts have real-world consequences. QAnon supporters have been tied to violent crimes across the country. The president welcomes their support. But Joe Biden is taking a different view when he's asked about the conspiracy and its followers.
I've been a big supporter of mental health. I'd recommend that people who believe it maybe should take advantage while it still exists in the Affordable Care Act. It's bizarre, totally bizarre. It's mortifying, it's embarrassing, and it's dangerous. It's dangerous.
With me now, MSNBC contributor and vice correspondent Paula Ramos. Pao, good to see you. Okay, let's talk about QAnon's beginning. It gets traced back to 2017 to someone who's posting on a 4chan site as Q. Who is Q, and how has this morphed into QAnon?
Q is unknown, right? But Q is allegedly someone that comes from the military, and he posts in 2017, sort of building on Pizzagate. And he says that he has information on this deep state plot against Donald Trump, right? And that's sort of where the movement starts. That was in 2017 or in 2020. That sort of internet movement is morphing into a physical movement, right? You look at today, we know that there's at least 11 QAnon-linked Republicans that are on the November ballot in different states across this country, right? At least in 11 states, right? Now you know that Q, to me at least, is the physical manifestation of Donald Trump's lies, right? You see the president that he refuses to disavow Q, mostly because he knows that in the next 60 days, he needs those votes, right? So it's, to me, it's forming into this political movement and potentially into a pretty real voting bloc that may have at least in states like Florida, Arizona, and Wisconsin, they may swing, they may swing those states.
For Vice, you went out and you spoke with supporters of QAnon. Let's take a listen.
It's sick. It's sick what they do.
Reba Cheryl is one of more than 70 QAnon supporters who ran as Republicans in the primaries.
When Q came on the scene, I saw that this Q was saying the same things I knew to be accurate.
Which were?
About the fraud and corruption, about the human trafficking, about the treasonous acts that have been going on, the tyranny that exists in the United States and around the world. It's terrible what's been happening.
Pao, actually spending time with QAnon followers, what most stuck out to you? What most surprised you?
That you cannot have you can't have this conversation, right? You can't deal with facts. So it took me a while to understand that you truly have to sort of understand that they live in a fictional world, where facts don't matter. And in any other scenario, I would tell you, I think you and I would say, let's dismiss them. No, this sounds kind of crazy, but in Donald Trump's America, this is a result of 4 years of his presidency, right? You have at least 4 million people, according to some reports, that believe lies, that believe that there are Democrats and celebrities that are eating the blood of children. They believe that Donald Trump is their champion in that one state. He's going to sort of expose this. And so, again, it's dangerous, but it is a framework. It's an ideological framework in which Donald Trump may not necessarily believe it, but it sort of legitimizes his lies. Now you're starting to see him sort of throw these words, the deep state, the dark shadows. He's starting to say that. And I'm pretty sure that he's doing that on purpose. It's not a coincidence.
What is it that they see in President Trump?
So the interesting thing about Q is they don't like Democrats. They don't like Republicans. They're against the establishment, but they see Trump as this sort of a superhero, as their Superman, as this champion. And again, I think, Vice President Joe Biden said that maybe they have mental health issues. Maybe that's right. We don't know. No, that's not on us to say. I do think there are people that are missing something. There's some void in their life. And I do think that if you live your life, or at least you live in these internet dark corners in this fictional world, right, where you believe that something better may happen tomorrow, that sort of gives you some hope. Now, I'm not saying that that makes sense, and I'm not saying that it's right, but I do think that they're missing something, and they're looking for something better. And for them, Donald Trump is that person, right? And I will tell you that I met white people, I met many Latinos, I met Black people that will tell you this to your face.
Paul, where do you see this movement going?
I think we'll find out in 60 days. I think there's different versions of that, right? It's uncertain, but it can be dangerous. I think one version is that Q in the future becomes sort of the extension of Trump's party. I think there's another version where they become a serious voting bloc, right? Where they advocate for things like the deep state, like human trafficking. And I also see, as you just said, with Marjorie Taylor Greene, I see a future that is violent, right? Let's not forget that Q has been defined as a potential domestic terrorist threat. And so those are all scenarios that are real in Donald Trump's America.
Paula Ramos, thank you for your time.